Ladies and gentlemen, the Alabama Senate will now come to order. Our prayer today will be delivered by Mr. Kevin Kilpatrick. Mr. Kilpatrick is the music minister at Homewood Church of Christ and the guest of Senator Wagner and Senator Dan Roberts. Kevin is also Senator Wagner's son-in-law.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Amen. Thank you. Today the pledge will be led by Trip Gudger. Trip is the son of Senator Garland Gudger.
Attention, salute, pledge.
Thank you, Trip. Glad to see you're still the best dressed person in the building. All right, Secretary, call the roll.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Allen. Mr. Barfoot. Mr. Beasley. Mr. Bell. Mr. Butler. Mr. Carnley. Mr. Chambliss. Mr. Chasteen. Ms. Coleman. Ms. Coleman-Madison. Mr. Elliott. Ms. Figures. Mr. Gavan. Mr. Gudger. Mr. Hatcher. Mr. Hovey. Mr. Jones. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kitchens. Mr. Livingston. Mr. Melson. Mr. Orr. Mr. Price. Mr. Roberts. Mr. Sessions. Mr. Shelnut. Mr. Singleton. Mr. Smitterman. Mr. Stewart. Mr. Stutz. Mr. Wagner. Ms. Weaver. Mr. Williams.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have 32 senators present, which is a quorum. The Senate is ready to transact business. All right, Senator Wagner.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
I have a resolution.
All right, Secretary, read and receive the resolution.
Senate Resolution Number 1 by Senator Wagner, notifying the House of Representatives of the convening of the Senate.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
move adoption of the resolution.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution's adopted.
Mr. President.
Senator Wagner.
Have a resolution.
All right, Secretary, read and receive the resolution.
Senate Joint Resolution number 2 by Senator Wagner, appointing a committee to notify the governor that the legislature is in session.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
move adoption of the resolution.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution's adopted, and with that, need to appoint 3 senators. That's going to be Senator Livingston, Senator Singleton, and Senator Barfoot that will be escorting the governor. All right, Senator Wagner.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
have a resolution.
All right, Secretary, read and receive the resolution.
Senate Joint Resolution number 3 by Senator Wagner, commending Abby Stockard for winning Miss America.
And did you want this one read?
Mr. President, I request this resolution be read at length.
If I could get everyone's attention, the resolution is going to be read at length. Secretary, read the resolution.
Senate Joint Resolution commending Abby Stockard for winning Miss America. Whereas highest commendations and congratulations are herein proudly extended to Miss Abby Stockard for being crowned the 2025 Miss America during the annual Miss America competition on January 5th, 2025 at the Walt Disney Theater in Orlando, Florida. And whereas Abby Stockard's brilliance dazzled the judges and crowd at the 2025 competition, where she earned her prestigious title through hard work, diligence, admirable ambition, and a commitment to serve. And whereas the 22-year-old Auburn University nursing student and dance team member, crowned Miss America in June 2024, is dedicated to advancing her career by pursuing a doctorate of nurse anesthesia practice with a focus on pediatrics, combining her passion for healthcare and children. Whereas Abby, an active member of the Alpha Gamma Delta sorority at Auburn University, has spent 3 years with the Tiger Paws dance team performing at Auburn's various sports events. She began dancing at age 2, training at the Jackie O'Neill School of Dance and later at Birmingham Dance Theater. For both the Miss Alabama and Miss America competitions, Abby showcased her talent with a contemporary routine to Lauren Daigle's You Say, a performance inspired by the memory of her late grandmother. And whereas Abby, in line with Miss America's distinguished philanthropic initiatives, serves as a Best Buddies champion and mission partner. She has raised more than $5,000 for the American Heart Association and was honored with the AHA Go Red for Women Leadership Award at the Miss America competition. And whereas a passionate advocate for cystic fibrosis, inspired by her best friend, Maddie Hagler, Abby was named the 2024 Hero of Hope and appointed the official national ambassador for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation during her reign as Miss America. She has raised over $200,000 for cystic fibrosis research, partnered with national researchers, including Dr. George Solomon, a pulmonologist at the Kirkland Clinic of UAB Hospital, and led Alabama's largest cystic fibrosis fundraiser, declaring, "I will not stop until the cystic fibrosis stands for cure is found." Abby also has collaborated with state and national leaders, notably Senator Jabo Wagner, to advance cystic fibrosis legislation, champion the cause, and empower women in leadership. And whereas Abby holds a deep appreciation for her hometown of Vestavia Hills, where she attended high school and found numerous opportunities to engage with and positively impact her community, she values the tight-knit nature of the town where people have strong connections and support for one another. Outside of her responsibilities as Miss America, Abby enjoys spending time outdoors, often going hiking to connect with nature. And whereas Abby is the daughter of proud parents, Brad and Kim Stockard of Vestavia Hills, she shares a special bond with her twin brother Bradley and her younger sister Lily. Both Abby and Bradley are pursuing their nursing degrees at Auburn University, while Lily began her freshman year at Auburn this fall. Whereas Ms. Stockard is an intelligent and gifted leader whose willingness to serve others and actions to make the world a better place reflect immense credit upon the entire state of Alabama, and she is truly deserving of the significant honor bestowed upon her. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of Alabama, both houses thereof concurring, that Abby Stockard, Miss America, is honored and commended on her outstanding record of accomplishments, and this resolution is offered in highest tribute and deepest appreciation to her on behalf of the citizens of the state of Alabama, who hold her in great esteem and wish her well as she embarks upon the next stage of a life already distinguished by excellence.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
move adoption of the resolution.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution's adopted.
Members, could I have your attention, please? Mr. President, I have a resolution.
All right, Secretary Reed received the resolution.
Senate Joint Resolution Number 4 by Senator Wagner, commending President Pro Tempore of the Senate Greg Reed for distinguished service.
All right, Senator Wagner.
Mr. President, I'd like for it to be read at length.
All right, Secretary, read the resolution.
Senate Joint Resolution commending President Pro Tempore of the Senate Greg Reed for distinguished service. Whereas we note with utmost admiration and appreciation the distinguished service of our friend and colleague, Senator Greg Reed, as he concludes an esteemed career in the Alabama Senate, we find it necessary and proper to recount his many accomplishments. Whereas a native of Walker County, Senator Reed was born in Jasper to Rufus and Patsy Collier Reed. He grew up in Cordova, where he and his sister Angie graduated from Walker County Public Schools, and he continued his education at Walker College, now Bevel State Community College, before earning his bachelor's degree from the University of Alabama. And whereas before entering the legislature, Senator Reed had a successful career in business, working first as a commercial banker and then in the medical equipment provider industry, culminating in his role as Vice President of the Preferred Medical Systems, a position he held for 17 years. It was his work in the private sector that honed his expertise in issues such as business, economic development, and workforce development. Whereas Senator Reed's dedication to public service and passion for politics began many years before his service in the Alabama Senate. In 1997, he began a 3-year tenure as the Walker County Republican Party chairman. From 2000 to 2008, he was the senior vice chairman of the Alabama Republican Party. Whereas in 2010, first-time candidate Greg Reed was elected to the Alabama Senate by the voters of Senate District 5. He was reelected in 2014 without opposition. His legislative prowess was indisputable, evidenced by his selection as chair of the Senate Health Committee, and at the start of the new legislative term in 2015, election by his Republican colleagues as the majority leader of the Alabama Senate. Whereas Senator Reed's legislative accomplishments are many, with a keen eye for business and a passion for economic growth, Senator Reed was instrumental to the passage of many major economic packages to create jobs and improve the lives of his fellow Alabamians, including the Working for Alabama Bill package, the Growing Alabama Act, the Alabama Jobs Act, and the Alabama Growth Alliance Act. In 2019, he helped bolster incentives to recruit businesses to rural counties by sponsoring the AIM Act. One of Senator Reed's proudest achievements was helping secure the necessary funds to replace the old elementary school that he and his wife Mitzi attended in Cordova with a new school building. And whereas Senator Reed continued to serve as majority leader until the start of 2021 regular session, when the Alabama Senate unanimously elected Senator Reed to serve as the President Pro Tempore of the Alabama Senate. He served as President Pro Tem until December 2024, when he accepted Governor Ivey's appointment to her administration as the Senior Advisor to Workforce Transformation, where he will continue his work fostering economic growth in the state by setting the foundation for the new Department of Workforce. Whereas Senator Reed freely admits that none of his accomplishments would be possible without the love, support, and constant encouragement of his wife, Mitzi Harbison Reed, the high school sweethearts married in 1988. They have reared 3 successful sons, twins, Andrew and James, both graduates of the University of Alabama, and John Michael, a graduate of the University of Montevallo, and were overjoyed with the additions to the family of James's bride, Annika, and John Michael's bride, Kaylee. Senator Reed and Mitzi are active members of the First Baptist Church of Jasper, where they teach Sunday school to young adults. And whereas Senator Reed is a faithful public servant, and this body knows that his dedication to the people of Alabama will not end when he crosses the threshold of the State House. Rather, commendations within this resolution are given with the knowledge that he will continue serving his fellow Alabamians and fellow Americans for many days. Now therefore be it resolved by the legislature of Alabama, both houses thereof concurring, that State Senator and President pro tempore of the Senate Greg Reed is hereby commended for his outstanding record of diligent service to the people of Senate District 5 and the state of Alabama for his invaluable contributions to this body over the past 15 years.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
members, can I have your attention? As everybody in this body knows, Senator Reed has retired from the Senate, so to speak, to take a position with Workforce Development, a new agency at the state of Alabama level. We're going to miss Senator Reed. He's been a friend to all of us. He's been an outstanding state senator. And at this point, Mr. President, I'd like for this body to stand in informal recess to present, welcome back to this chamber, former senator from Jasper, Alabama, Senator Greg Reed.
All right. Hold on one second. Hey, Senator Wagner. Hold on. We need to adopt the resolution first. All right.
Mr. President, move for adoption of SR 4.
All right. Any objection? All right. Hearing none, so ordered. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? All right. Now, the motion was to stand in recess, call the chair. Is that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. We stand in recess, call the chair. All right. Senator Reed.
Mr. President, Mr. President and body, I introduce to you the new Secretary of Commerce, Mr. Greg Reed.
Talk about introductions, Mr. Leader. Wow. Well, thank you all so much. Just standing at the back of the room, watching you operate, and recognizing that I'm no longer a part of the group, has its own bittersweet thoughts. So looking around to see each of you, it's wonderful to be here today. You all have heard me say before, I don't ever want to miss a chance to say thank you. And so that's my privilege this moment. If you'll tolerate me for a minute, I want to mention a couple of thank yous that are important to me in my tenure and service for 14 years in this chamber. First off, be able to thank the Lord, okay, for giving me the opportunity to serve others. I want to thank my wife, Mitzi, who's with me today in the back of the room. And my family, which have been always supportive of me in everything I've done. Mitzi and I have been married for 36 years, and man, I couldn't do anything were it not for her support and her love for me, and I appreciate her so much. I want to thank the people of Senate District 5 that decided in 2010 they were going to send me down here. And it has been such an honor to represent them and do anything that I could to support the efforts in my district. And that has been just an enormous privilege of my life to be able to do that. Governor, I want to thank you. You've been sitting in that chair and as a leader for much of my tenure. As I functioned as majority leader and then as pro tem, you and I had an opportunity where we could just look at each other on multiple occasions and knew what we were thinking as to what was going to transpire and happen on the floor. and your friendship has been valuable to me, and I thank you for that, and I appreciate you and all of your capable staff that have been in support of my efforts. Mr. Secretary, thank you, sir, for you and all of your capable staff, those that have done so much to support this body and to support me and all the efforts that we've had, those at the desk and those all that hopefully are hearing me back in the rooms behind and around and down the hall. What a great group of people. Anthony, I think you're here, sir. Thank you for your leadership, for your staff and all that have done so much to help us accomplish our goals. The new pro tem, who I understand you're going to get to vote on here in a few minutes, Senator. There he is, Senator Gudger. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity. Majority Leader Livingston, there he is. We've worked together so closely and carefully during your tenure, and it's a privilege. Leader Singleton, Bobby Singleton, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you very much in the way we've been able to collaborate and work together. There have been some that have been awed and amazed at the fact of how we have been able, Republicans and Democrats, to collaborate and work on things important to the people of the state of Alabama, but that hadn't been a mystery to me, not once. We've worked together in a way that is exactly the way it ought to be, and it's been a privilege for me. There's two whips, the majority whip, Senator Chambliss, and the minority whip, Senator Smitherman, and the opportunity to work together with you gentlemen has been a great privilege for me. Senator Wagner, I thanked you earlier for the resolution, but as many of you may or may not know, one of the very first people that asked me would I be interested in running for the Alabama Senate was Jabbo Wagner in Jasper at a Republican event, and that has been nearly 20 years ago, Senator, so thank you for your encouragement. And to all of the senators, I look around and see my colleagues in here. Wow, what a group of enormously capable, wildly intelligent, continuously dedicated men and women that are about the business of doing all the things important to the people of the state of Alabama. And as I brag on you, I am reminded of a statement in our last caucus meeting that was uttered by none other than Senator Butler, who said, Senator Reid, when it comes to the budget, now you need us a lot more than we need you. Understood, Senator. So I'll keep bragging on you all, and thank you for your kind appreciation for me. I've had great staff to work with me. Two chiefs, Tim and Derek, those two gentlemen, as you all know them well, they have done extraordinary work. I've had other staff, Melissa, Jennifer, Hope, John Williams, Harrison, and others throughout the years that have been great support to you and great support to me, and I thank them publicly for their dedication to this body and to working with me and offering their friendship. I also want to thank a group that finds themselves in the gallery often, okay? Were it not for stakeholders and lobbyists that are giving wise counsel as we try to do our tasks, we wouldn't have nearly as much information as we do. And as a result, the relationship that I experienced working with all of the stakeholders has been one of great benefit to me. And so I am here including you in these words of thank you. So to close, I want to thank Governor Ivey for giving me a new job and a new opportunity as the state's first Secretary of Workforce. And it's going to be my privilege to move forward carrying out those responsibilities. This has been an honor of my lifetime to have served with you, stood strong with you to make Alabama all she can be. Been to me, and the memories that I will have the rest of my life, I will cherish because of you. God bless you in everything you do. I pray His wisdom and discernment will be yours every opportunity you make decisions to be able to be what the people of Alabama are expecting you to be. I will be right there cheering you on in any opportunity that I get. And I will be around, so I'm not going to be gone far we'll have opportunity to see and visit with each other. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Senator Reed, just on behalf of everybody on the 7th floor, I mean, wow, just what a man of integrity. You did a tremendous job. Thank you so much. Let's give him a huge another round of applause. Thank you. Senator Smithman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator, don't quite walk out just yet. I have to share with the body what you probably have done each and every time you all have a meeting, and that is that being the President Pro Tem is an awesome job. And it's awesome job because so many times you see yourself, the people who are the majority thinks that you're just there pro tem. And the same thing when I was pro tem. They would just think that you're the pro tem. I have to tell them that's the majority leader. That's not the pro tem. The pro tem is the pro tem for everybody in this body. That pro tem is the pro tem for 34, not counting them, the senators in this body. And being a pro tem in this body, it's a balancing that you've got to try to find a way to do so that you can keep the wheels of state government moving forward and everybody can be going down the same road. You did an outstanding job at your role as pro tem in this body. You can look back over those years of the accomplishments that this legislature, what we were able to do, and able to do it in a bipartisan manner. And you were the engine and the catalyst that helped lead us down that path so that we could do that. You're to be commended. You know, I'm very appreciative. As I said this, I'm sure many of our colleagues are. And in this process, I was blessed a little more than they were. The fact that in our local delegation, we got a chance to get an extra dose of working with each other. From that, when they were at home, Senator Wagner would pull us together and we all would figure out how we gonna get things done on that end. And so I just wanna tell you that I'm proud for where you're going because that same leadership and that same caring. And I'm gonna tell you this before I close is that when I look at people, we may say different things to each other, and they're not negative, but things and trying to get things done. But I look at your heart. You can be talking to me in my face, but I'm looking straight down at your heart, and you have that kind of caring heart for people. And being in the position that you're in now, the citizens in the state of Alabama are going to benefit because you care about people getting jobs. You care about people getting trained. You genuinely care. And because you do, you're going to help take us down that path that anybody that wants a job or need a job is going to provide an opportunity. And you're going to be that catalyst to make their lives and their families tremendously better. So as I close, as I started, I'm going to tell everyone, all who agree with what you've heard and what's been said, let's say amen. Amen. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
I have one more
Hold on,
resolution.
we're in recess right now. Did y'all want to get a picture with everybody? All right, let's get a picture real quick while we're in recess. we could get all the members of the Senate down for a picture real quick with Senator Reid. All right, the Senate is back in session. Senator Wagner.
Mr. President, I have a resolution.
All right, Secretary Reid, and receive the resolution, please.
Senate Joint Resolution Number 5 by Senator Wagner. Committee appointed to escort governor to joint session of the legislature.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
move adoption of resolution.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Resolution's adopted. The three members are Senator Livingston, Senator Singleton, and Senator Barfoot. All right, before we move on real quick, we have a lot of families, spouses, and kids. If you're a spouse or a kid of a senator, if y'all could please stand. That includes y'all, Hunter and Hayes and Addie. Yeah, welcome to the Alabama Senate. All right, next order of business is the election of a new Senate Pro Tem. Senator Livingston.
Mr. President, thank you very much. You know, over the last few years, gentlemen and ladies, we've had the fortunate opportunity to have very strong leaders in this chamber, and today we have the opportunity to elect another one. Garland is a strong conservative with a clear vision for Alabama's future. He's a friend to all of us, and he puts Alabama first. As a Senate, we've worked hard to make life better for people of Alabama. We have a proven track record protecting Alabama's values, strengthening our economy, and making this state the best place to live, work, play, and raise a family. I know Garland will continue leading with that same commitment. And with that, I proudly make the motion to nominate the gentleman from Coleman as President Pro Tem of the Senate.
All right.
Mr. President,
Senator Singleton.
in a bipartisan spirit, I second that motion.
All right, Secretary, call the roll.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Allen. Mr. Barfoot. Mr. Beasley. Mr. Bell. Mr. Butler. Mr. Conley. Mr. Chambliss. Mr. Chasteen. Ms. Coleman. Ms. Coleman Madison. Mr. Elliott. Ms. Figures. Mr. Gavan. Mr. Gudger. Mr. Hatcher. Mr. Hovey. Mr. Jones. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kitchens. Mr. Livingston. Mr. Melson. Mr. Orr. Mr. Price. Mr. Roberts. Mr. Sessions. Mr. Shelnutt. Mr. Singleton. Mr. Smitherman. Mr. Stewart. Mr. Stutz. Mr. Wagner. Ms. Weaver. Mr. Williams.
33 ayes, 0 nays. Congratulations, Mr. Pro Tem Gudger. All right. Hold on. Yeah. All right, this time, Mr. Pro Tem will be sworn in under the seal of the desk. Chief Justice Stewart, we want to welcome you to the Alabama Senate. Let's give her a round of applause. Excited about your leadership. Thank you. All right, this time I want to recognize Pro Tem Gudger.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a few remarks I'd like to say at this time.
You're recognized.
If you will allow, I'm going to start my remarks on a personal note to my wife, Heather, my sons, Tripp and Pierce, my sisters, Jill and Joy, and my in-laws, Ron and Trina Pierce, and most especially my mother, that I think all of us in here know. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support during the difficult days that we weathered together. And thank you for the sacrifices that you make so that I may serve others as a member of the Alabama legislature. I know that the families of every lawmaker make the same kind of sacrifices. And I'm sure I speak for everyone here when I offer thanks to your families as well. 7 months ago to this day, a freak accident happened on Independence Day that left me strapped to a gurney in a med evac helicopter, fighting for my life and wondering if I'd ever walk again. Doctors discovered a fractured vertebrae, fractured ribs, internal bleeding, a punctured lung, and other injuries too numerous to list here today. My body was broken, but my spirit was strong, and it made me even stronger by the prayers of Alabamians, both known and unknown, who asked God's healing hands to take control. The first tentative steps the physical therapist made me take following the accident were painful and difficult, but each determined step, one after the other, eventually brought me to where I stand before all of you today. I'm a man who is grateful to have survived and healed, grateful for God's mercy, grateful for my family, grateful for my colleagues gathered in this chamber, and today, I'm grateful for the faith, the trust, the responsibility that you have placed in me as your new President Pro Tem. I will do all in my power to justify your faith and trust and make you proud of that decision. History tells us that I'm actually the third senator representing Coleman, my hometown, to serve this body as Pro Tem. Finest St. John and our own Joe Fine stood tall before me, and I will seek to emulate the examples that those two legislative legends have left behind. The Senate's to-do list this session is long, and our time to accomplish it is short. We must ensure that every child in every zip code and every income level has access to quality education that prepares them for a lifetime of good-paying jobs. We must allow Alabamians to once again feel safe in their homes and in their communities, and our law enforcement officers who wear a badge must know that we all have their backs. We must turn back the flood of illegal immigration that erases our borders, strains our cities, and drains our resources. And we must budget every taxpayer dollar around the committee room table as carefully as we budget our families' dollars around our own kitchen table. To sum it up, our job is to make an already great state even better for all who reside here. It's a mission that each of us gathered in this chamber share. And while we may have differing ideas, differing plans and proposals about how to accomplish that, I understand that a good idea is a good idea whether your name is followed by a D or an R. The Pro Tem's duty is to ensure that every member feels included, valued, respected, and heard. And it's one duty that I will take seriously as I take this position. My door is open, my hand is offered, my words are sincere, and at this moment, my heart is full. So let's all of us embrace the spirit of Alabama and resolve as one, man and woman, Democrat and Republican, black and white, liberal and conservative, to work together for the betterment of the citizens that all of us took an oath to serve. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the Alabama State Senate, I'm going to quit talking and let's get to working.
Let's work! Let's work! Let's work!
Thank you.
All right, it's time to get to work. Let's move on to introduction of bills.
Senate Bill number 1 by Senator Gavan, relating to public education. Hey. I thought the pre-files already were referred. Yeah. Well, there's a pre-file you just used? They didn't have a referral on the jacket.
To George, that's all pre-file.
Got some special guests in the gallery I'd like to recognize. When I call your name, if you could please stand. Miss Dot Gudger, the mother of Senator Gudger. Jill Howell, the sister of Senator Gudger. Joy Barker, the sister of Senator Gudger. And Ron and Trina Pierce, the in-laws. If y'all could please stand. Welcome to the Alabama Senate. Great to have you. Hey, Senator Jones. Senator Jones.
Mr. President, make a motion, we allow for the introduction of bills throughout the day.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. Thank you.
Senate Bill number 1 by Senator Gavan, relating to public education, is referred to the Committee on Finance, Taxation, and Education. Senate Bill number 2 by Senator Gudger, relating to the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board, is referred to the Committee on Children and Youth Health.
All right. Does anyone have any motions or resolutions? Any motions or resolutions?
Mr. President, can we
Senator
leave the general open for bills?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to leave the general open for bills to be introduced at any time today.
We got that approved.
did that?
Yeah. Senator Jones made
What am I
that.
doing?
Yeah. All right. Real quick, go ahead.
You go right on, Mr. President. I do want to recognize, but you go right on.
No, go ahead.
You ready to- You sure?
We're just on, does anybody have any motions or resolutions? Any resolutions? Anyone? Oh, you got, okay. Senator Elliott.
Mr. President, I have a resolution.
All right, Secretary, read and receive the resolution.
Senate Joint Resolution number 6 by Senator Elliott, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Volkert Incorporated. Senate Joint Resolution number 6 is referred to the Committee on Rules.
All right, any other resolutions? All right, Senator Smitherman,
Thank you, Mr. President. Could I be recognized a moment of personal privilege?
you're recognized.
Thank you. Hey, can I get everybody's attention just for a second? Just for a second. I know we about ready to wrap up things, but I want to, 1 second. First, I just want to say, everyone, I'm glad to see you. Glad to see each and every one of y'all. You're looking good. You look like it was the little rest helped you out a whole lot. You're glowing and moving around with plenty of energy, and I like that. I do want to make an appeal to everyone in here, in particular my committee chairs. I want to make an appeal to you, is that as is well known, is that when we have our committee meetings, we would look to hopefully adhere to what we've been doing for years, and that is a third of that agenda would be from the minority side, or more, or whatever, depends on the bills. That will enable the rules chair to have an agenda to be able to consider when we have the special order calendar. I want everybody to listen to me. Listen, please. Because it's going to assist our new pro tem in being able to do his job in a very efficient manner. It's going to assist him. And you all are needed to be able to provide that assistance so that the process can move in a very smooth and unified manner. So I'm just trying to kind of tell everybody that, you know, you all decide naturally when you want to meet because you're chairs. But when you do meet, if you would consider that highly, to be able to make those agendas of such that if those bills are bills that are successfully to come out of committee, then they can go to the next phase, which would be to the rules chair, so they could be considered. So let's do that. Let's work together so that we can make his job a lot easier on what he has to do. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Smitherman. Look forward to working with you this session. Real quick, if I can get everybody's attention, I've got a special presentation for my friend Senator Singleton. So one of the things is getting to be Lieutenant Governor. I get to hear a lot of lessons about little Bobby and, different lessons in his life. So I have a little Bobby. This is from me and Jess. So, I just want you to know I've learned a lot, and I wanted to present this to you, Jess, if you can go down and give it to him. But we appreciate you, and also appreciate the lessons of little Bobby and what I've learned. So let's give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Point of personal privilege.
Recognized.
Had I known little Bobby was in town, I would have stood up and raised my hand for my spouse and children.
All right. Senator Gudger.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's been a good day so far, obviously. I do not see Rob. So having said that, we need to make a motion, please, sir. That motion is to stand in recess, leave the journal open for the first readings until 3 p.m., which I think we've discussed already, at which the Senate will adjourn until 9 a.m. on Wednesday, February 5th.
All right, you heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Let's work.
All right, we stand adjourned.
Let's work.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more small announcement before we leave out of here, Mr. President. I was looking across the room earlier, and it was on my notes to make sure that everybody knew that we have a celebrity in the house. That's his birthday today, Senator Rob Stewart, right here. Congratulations, sir, and happy birthday to you. That's all we got, Mr. President.
And West Kitchens, I'm still younger than you.